you have troubled lives. Things happen in people's lives that are not always good, but it's about not losing hope, and it's about keeping faith. And when you do that, it kind of activates the angels into action because they see that you're still holding on, and they'll do everything in their power to get you in the right direction, to pull you not only out of your situation, but up, and get you going into the right direction and to what your purpose in life truly is.
How do we know what our purpose in life truly is, Alexandra? Many people search that throughout their entire lives.
Exactly. We don't always know what our purpose. Some people, have you ever noticed some people say, well, I always knew at the age of 5 or 6 what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be,
Yeah.
so they go off and do that. But then there are people like me who don't always know their purpose in life, and so you just kind of muddle along in life and you're trying to figure things out. But people say that if you just listen sometimes, if you meditate, if you kind of in the still of the night when everybody's asleep and just kind of listen sometimes things come to you. And it's not necessarily you, but it's sometimes your angel trying to give you messages, and you just got to be open to that. And so when we are open to those subtle messages, then we have a tendency to kind of listen and start getting on the right path to finding out what our purpose is in life.
How can we, in your opinion, better communicate with angels?
Better communicate? Oh, boy, I wish I could tell you that. To me, it's through, like I said, in those moments of meditation, when you're sitting down and nobody else is around, and you're listening and you're praying and you're asking God to speak to you, to kind of come into your heart so that you can hear what it is that He wants you to do. So It's about that oneness that you have with God. It's about tuning in and listening. Because sometimes God doesn't always talk to us through, like when we're sitting there praying, but sometimes God will send someone and they will say the very thing that you were probably thinking, or the very thing that popped into your head that you were trying to dismiss, because you're thinking, okay, maybe not, maybe it sounds a little bit too different or too weird. But sometimes God will send somebody your way to confirm what He put in your head, to let you know, yes, this is right, this is good. He's communicating.
Do you believe in guardian angels?
Oh, gosh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. They're there to help us in times of need, in times of trouble, just to help guide us in life. I think they want us sometimes to ask them, show me, the way, or show me and help me with various things. I believe guardian angels are sent by God for us so that we can get through this life and do the right thing in this world. I believe that we're here to do good things, to do loving things, to help people, and get to what God really wants us to do.
So it's all part of the plan.
I think so, Rob. I really do. I mean, I don't believe that we're born into this world to live, work, die, and then that's it. It's all over with. I believe that we're sent here to do a work, and then when we leave here, we go to another place, but we're doing something even more, even better, even for grant. So I believe, yes, absolutely.
It's just like when we were in school. We started in kindergarten, and as we learned throughout the year, we got promoted to grade 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I've heard this told to me by so many people who have had interaction with angels, and they communicate with angels in their sleep in meditative states. And it seems that we are here on this plane in this existence to grow, to learn, to make us better. It's a wonderful thing. It's like this is one great journey we're all on.
Exactly. And it's a journey that we're ever learning, like you said. And basically, if we just stay prayerful, if we just stay in the presence of, God and what it is that He wants us to do, we will do the right thing and get on the right path and find out what our purpose truly is here in life. I mean, some of us will work at certain things or do certain things for years because we're in a comfort zone. and you don't want to get out of that comfort zone. But when you truly want to find out what your purpose is, sometimes it'll pull you out of that comfort zone, and that's really scary for a lot of people. But if we trust it and just go with it, a lot of times we'll find out, wow, I should have been over here all this time, doing this all this time. And you'll realize just how much it fits you.
It's amazing when I talk to people about angels, how many children see angels. And yet, as we teach our children that there is no such thing as a man, as a cow that jumps over the moon, and a lady that flies on the back of a goose, and the list goes on and on, it seems so redundant that we bring our children into a world of fantasy just to pull the carpet out from under them as they grow a little older. But all these children all have stories about angels or invisible friends. So why do you think it is?
Absolutely.
Why do you think it is that we do this to our children? You know, you're not. What do you mean angels? What do you mean invisible friends? Come on, this is all in your imagination.
No, not at all. As to why, well, I don't want to destroy anything for any kids out there. As to one myth that we constantly throw at them, and then when they get older, we say, no, unfortunately, that doesn't exist. That person is not real. Whereas if we have them believe in the angelic beings that are really, truly there for them, to me, that makes more sense. As to why children can see them oftentimes and maybe we can't, I believe it's because they're open. They're receptive. The innocence of children.
Yeah.
Children are not, bottled down or bagged down with a lot of things and excesses in life, all the negatives in life. They're innocent beings with a lot of love in their hearts. So you're able to communicate with them and show them things better versus us as adults, who we have everything, the logic, the reasoning. Well, it doesn't make sense. Or, we're taught a certain way, so we're not as open, we're not as receptive. So it's not as easy sometimes for us.
Alexandra, please stand by. You and I have to take our commercial break with the news at the bottom of the hour. We'll be back shortly. Exonation, Alexandra Lane is my very special guest this hour. We're talking about angels. Alexandra is the author of A Vision of Angels, and her website is www.alexandralane.tateauthor.com. That's www.alexandralane.tateauthor.com. And once again, the name of her book is A Vision of Angels. Alexandra and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My name is Rob McConnell. Don't go away. Are you considering calling a psychic to read your situation? Then consider David Champion, a psychic medium for more than 20 years with thousands of readings under his belt. David Champion will make you feel comfortable. He has proven to be honest and accurate. He's a straight shooter. There's no guesswork. What he sees is what you get. While he is a medium, most of the calls focus on relationships, not only love, but work, school, neighbors, and more. Need help with finding a job and preparing for the interview? Are you dealing with people who are obstacles in your path? For more information, go to davidchampion.com, $1.50 per minute paid by credit card with a minimum of 30 minutes. For your reading with David Champion, call 1-877-702-8598. That's 1-877-702-8598. Now you can dial in to listen to the X-Zone Radio Show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
This is Elizabeth Joyce with Stargazing, week of June 2nd to June 8th on the X-Zone. There's plenty of romantic energy in the agenda this week, even if you might not be able to think straight. June is relatively quiet compared to the last 2 months. The only big issue is Mercury turning retrograde June 7th through July 1st. The communication breakdown cycle begins in Cancer, the sign of family, food, home, and emotions. Then it goes backwards into mental Gemini. Plan to do a lot of short, quick projects this month rather than taking on something excessive. It would be good to catch up with old friends or to learn something new. This is the final month of Jupiter in Cancer. The purpose has been to create a life that includes more nurturing, both for yourself and others. Monday the 2nd is particularly a good day for sharing with others. Remember that Mercury turns retrograde at the end of the week, so take care of communications and date scheduling now. On Wednesday, the love planet Venus in Taurus will embrace enchanting Neptune in a supportive sextile. This aspect guarantees that Earth and water signs will enjoy succumbing to the hypnotic spell of their sweetheart. Creative pursuits are also favored. There are 2 grand trines on Thursday the 5th. This is auspicious, but it moves through very quickly. Do something nice for yourself. One triangle is the feeling of water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. The other is the practical earth signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Be productive, but make sure your emotions are engaged in projects towards the end of the week. And on Friday, the Sun is in Gemini, and that will be a supportive link to Uranus. High voltage energy, along with clever ability to move forward in your progressive personal agenda, will become second nature. Everyone will enjoy focusing on what promotes their individual expression. In fact, this is what will make you come alive. The moon is in social Libra for the weekend. Confirm your plans and practice adaptability because Mercury turns retrograde on Saturday. That trickster planet is ready to cause trouble again. Mercury retrograde begins in sentimental Cancer, but will spin backward until July 1st. You might spend more time strolling down memory lane or dwelling on a family situation you wish you could do over. If you open your heart into it, maybe you can.
And for more information about Elizabeth Joyce and her readings, if you'd like to contact her for a one-on-one private consultation, her website is www.new-visions.com. That's www.new-visions.com. We're talking about angels this hour here in the X-Zone. We're talking to the author of a true story, but the book is a fiction, is a nonfiction. And the name of the book is A Vision of Angels by Alexandra Lane. And Alexandra, thank you very much for joining us. But I have to ask you a question, Alexandra. I've heard of good angels. Everybody has. But is there such a thing as a bad angel or an evil angel?
Well, yeah. Well, in my opinion, yes. Because there are things out there that people have. I've heard stories from people that have told me things that they've seen that I'm like, really, are things that they've heard that kind of makes your hair stand up just a little bit. But these are things that didn't leave them feeling good or feeling, at ease. These were things that put a great deal of fear in them. And so, yes, you have God's angels out there, but you got to also remember that there's always something out there trying to counter the goodness of God, trying to bring down or bring a person to that side of darkness. And so, yes, and people should be very aware that they are out there, unfortunately.
Can you share with us some of the angel stories that have been related to you over the years?